Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, Ice Bucket and Fan versus hottest recorded day in the state. User mad for mixing up Chrome and Explorer, then tries to BS and pull a Karen. It just started randomly doing this on its own. Press Alt plus F4. Problem solved. You're welcome. First week deployed. RIP UPS. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Ice Bucket and Fan versus hottest recorded day in the state. 2012 sophomore year of high school, we got a new IT technician who had enough certs to be legally allowed to teach classes as electives, Net Plus and SEC Plus. I believe he has CASP, but I don't remember if he had it before or after I started the year. I decided to take an elective with him as a sysop. That's what we called that class/elective/title thingy. Up to starting the year, my only IT experience is my fixing my gaming PC, and once kicking a printer in 4th grade and fixing it, probably how I knew I was destined to be in IT. That year my state had record temperatures in August/September, right when school started. I was probably about 2 to 3 weeks into school at the time of this incident, so I had learned the basic stuff such as reset passwords, printers, reimage. One day a few weeks into the school year, the IT dude had to head out for the day for an appointment, and he said as he left, "I'm in charge of everything for the day," and said make sure you keep an eye on the server room due to the heat. Turns out it was and still is the hottest recorded day in our state. I wasn't a problem child or anything during school, and with my new status as the assistant sysop, I kinda had free range to go in and out of class to assist with various issues throughout the day, especially when your IT dude was or busy at the other school. So that day I would step out of class every hour or so and make sure the server room was good. About 1 p.m. I go to check the server room, and the AC cut out and temperatures were exceeding over 100 F at this point. I started to freak out, because I can't fix the AC myself, and if it got any hotter I knew the servers would shut down, and that would be a big no-no. The school was still running novel and just really old and outdated hardware, and I'm sure if it was shut off and restarted unintentionally it probably wouldn't start up again type of old. After brainstorming on what I should do, I got the biggest stroke of genius I ever received, probably cashed out for a few years. I propped open the door, got one of the ridiculously big industrial fans, and pointed to blow air into the server room. My high school had a large ice maker in the hallway. I really don't know why we had it to this day, because where I'm from it's normally not that hot, even during the summer, and it's literally just sitting in a hallway, not even near the cafeteria. I went and found some of the biggest buckets I could find. I filled them up with ice and placed it in front and behind the fan. It ended up bringing the temps from around 120 F down to about 65 to 70 as long as I kept adding ice as it melted. For sure I saved the servers from either shutting off and or completely failing. Kinda proud of it. User mad for mixing up Chrome and Explorer, then tries to BS and pull a Karen. Just in a venting mood after a recent conversation with a third-party TP. Also being purposely vague. Background: I work in finance/risk management, and we operate on a queue system for when third parties would need approvals and reviews on certain risks. TP would enter all the data needed for us to review into our company website. There is also a separate phone queue for TPs who need assistance with using our website, as well as plenty of guides and videos, as well as our risk appetite. I also used to be on the assistance side, and am able to troubleshoot and fix most issues, as some TPs end up calling the risk phone queue. So instead of just transferring the caller around, I would just get the call done there whenever possible. Plus, we are currently short-staffed due to the summer vacations. TP: hi, I'm trying to see what the effects would be to make some changes to an account. Me: okay, what's stopping you from doing this change in the site? TP: I tried, but it's not working. Me: alright, try doing it again, and I'll stay on the line to guide you. TP proceeds to try. TP, it keeps giving me an error, complete company name. Me, please ensure you are using Internet Explorer. TP, I am, but it seems to be not working. Me, you're on the client screen? TP, yes. Me, what happens when you press next? TP, nothing happens. Me, are you using Internet Explorer? TP, yes, now getting annoyed. Me. Are you sure? TP, yes, we're using the latest version of Chrome. Me. The question was if you're using Internet Explorer. Chrome is Google Chrome. Completely different from Internet Explorer. Our site only works with Internet Explorer. The buttons and scripts will not work on other browsers. TP, okay, let me try this again. Then within 2 or 3 seconds. TP, okay, I'm trying it, but it's not working. Me, senses BS. Me, are you sure you're using Internet Explorer? TP, what's your name? Me, my name is, me, my manager is, direct manager, and our call started at time. Now. Are you able to confirm you're using Internet Explorer, because as I've stated, our site only works with Internet Explorer. TP, never mind, I'll try this myself. TP hangs up. The sensing BS part is me doubting someone is able to do the following within seconds. Close Chrome. Open Internet Explorer. Go to our website and log in. Navigate to the Accounts page. Search for the account, enter into the account, and then go to where the changes need to be done. I've also dealt with this TP in the past, and this TP like to use years of experience in the industry as a reason for knowing everything, and is always right, and will ask to speak to the manager if they don't get their way. I get that you can open the wrong browser by mistake, that's fine. What annoyed me was the BS attempt and then the Karen move when I'm trying to help. It just started randomly doing this on its own. Long-time lurker, first-time poster. I have worked in tech for over half a decade and finally feel like I have a story with enough substance to post. One of the first tech debacles I ran into this week. I get a computer to wipe clean of any company information from a user in one of my offices. Before I got it in my hands, he sent me a picture of the display that had a black screen with a lock on it. The laptop would not load to the OS past this. He said he didn't do anything, and that randomly started several times throughout our interactions. Fast forward and we find out it is a BIOS/hard drive lock. He manages to guess the password after several attempts and reboots. As the laptop loaded in, his earlier message popped into my head. It just started randomly doing this on its own. I get off the phone with him and continue on. I reboot and get past the lock to go into the BIOS and disable the feature. Another lock shows up, this time with a computer icon instead of the hard drive icon. I approach it with confidence and enter the first password and it fails. I give the user a call back and after another grueling game of guess, reboot, we get in. It just started randomly doing this on its own. This time though, I wrote down all of his guess. Just in case, I thought to myself. I am, finally, in the BIOS and tell him, okay, I will look into turning this off and let you know if I have any other issues. I find the steps to turn off the hard drive/BIOS lock and am greeted with a screen informing me that I will need the supervisor password to disable the lock. I plug in the first password. Failed. I plug in the second password. Failed. There was a third password set on this computer. It just started randomly doing this on its own. Before calling the user back, I go through the list of passwords that I jotted down from our previous and, lo and behold, it was one of those. After plugging in this third password, that he definitely didn't put on his computer, I reboot and the computer loads to the BIOS and OS fine. I am finally in the home stretch, but not before noticing something that most definitely was not done by the user. The laptop had also been removed from our company domain. I am not sure what end he was trying to reach, but he probably didn't get there. It just started randomly doing this on its own. To recap, there was a hard drive lock setup. There was a different BIOS password setup. There was a different supervisor password setup. And the computer was removed from the domain. It just started randomly doing this on its own. At the end of the day, I got the computer wiped and sent back to him, but it was one hell of a journey. Press Alt plus F4. Problem solved. You're welcome. Me, first level helpdesk grunt, supporting the German parliament and its administration. A CMD script as old as time runs to connect all network drives when a user logs in, and then closes the window after a few seconds. Directly after, everything else loads, taskbar, desktop icons, etc. This usually works. Usually as in, never not works. Until it did. The art of war rests on my desk, ready to lend me age-old wisdom should the need arise. Coffee has been had, breakfast consumed, the climate is temperate. Perfect conditions for supporting Germany's Byzantine bureaucracy. Ring ring. There is no exclamation mark as the phone is sophisticated and calm. Quite, tut tut. Me, helpdesk, this is Chakity. How can I help you? Caller, hello, I logged into my PC, and now there's just a black box on the screen. It says dash. Me, click the X to close it. Caller, mouse ain't movin', chief. He didn't say it like that, but it sounds cooler. It's called needless embellishment. Me, press Alt plus F4. Problem solved. Caller, Alt and F now it's gone and oh, everything's here now. That was fast. Thanks. Me, you're welcome. Have a nice day. Caller, bye. Click. Me, next. It's just instinct at this point. I think I've been doing this for too long. And it hasn't even been a year. First week deployed. RIP UPS. Sort of a short story. My first deployment, Army, started about 2 months ago. The unit we just replaced left after the first week. That next Monday morning I was by myself in the office trying to figure out how everything is laid out. The switches/routers/VPN box is all behind a locked cage. The cage is centered along a wall of the room so you can walk across the front of it and on the sides. If that makes sense. The old unit stuffed a bunch of whiteboards in one of the corners, and I decided to grab one because they are useful for tracking tickets, general information and whatnot. I pulled one out after fighting with it for a few seconds, nothing thinking about why it was so hard, and walked back into my office. Within legit seconds I had everyone storming my office, saying the phones and internet is out. Me being the only in the office started verifying that the internet is actually out. Turns out the old unit ran the power cable from the UPS to the power outlet outside of the cage, and ran it through the legs of the smart board. It's one of those ones that stands up and the legs are connected at the bottom. Turns out I shut everything off and we found our UPS was dead. Sorry for the probable bad grammar and whatnot. I only had a few minutes to write this. Check the health of your UPS.